Hey guys, this is Dennis, Muddy Water Search and Recovery, and this is the first episode of a mini-series we are going to be doing on this case. And I want to start off by letting you know that Alex has been recovered. He was found deceased, gunshot wound to the head, and the mother of Alex was on Facebook and she was pleading for help on this case. She's getting very little help on it. In her opinion, there's more to this than the suicide that this was recorded as. When I first started going through the information on this case, I'll be honest with you, my first thought was, yes, this is a suicide. However, as I dug further into it and started looking at things, I did start seeing some, inconsistencies, some things that did not seem right. And so I contacted Alex's mom and let her know we would do a mini series on this. She sent over a lot of information that has kind of gone along with my mindset on this case, and I'm going to break it down. Today's episode, we're going to kind of discuss the case, what kind of happened throughout, and give you just an overall view of what's happening here. The second episode, we will be going over the police reports, the reports that the officers who were on scene that day filled out about that investigation. So we will be going over that on the second episode. The third episode, we will be going over the coroner's report and discussing that. And on the fourth episode, we will tie it all together and bring it in with you guys. Then our fifth episode will be a live feed where we fully discuss everything we've uncovered on this case and shared with you. We will discuss our thoughts and theories with you back and forth to determine, did Alex commit suicide or is there more to this story? So I'm going to go ahead and jump on into this. Alex was a 21-year-old from Lafayette, Indiana. Alex was transgender. He was 5 foot tall, 85 to 90 pounds. He was last seen leaving his home on foot around 11:45 p.m. on February 3rd. His body was found and recovered February 9th. Volunteers had searched a 5-mile radius of his home and did not find Alex or anything related to the case. A person was plowing the snow, saw an indentation in the snow and a pair of boots sticking out of the snow. The snowplow driver went to investigate and found the body of Alex Blake VanDalsen. Alex was deceased, covered with a layer of snow. It had been snowing, and there was already snow on the ground, and had what appeared to be a gunshot wound to the head. The snowplow driver immediately called law enforcement. There was a gun found on the scene, but a shell casing has not been reported to have been found. Alex also has asthma and required an inhaler. His body was found 10 miles from home, and he was dressed in layers. It's below 30 degrees outside, probably colder than that, and we will get to that in the next episode. There was snow on the ground, and it snowed some more after he gone missing. His inhaler and personal belongings were actually left at home. So he did not have his inhaler, even though he suffers from asthma. And if you have asthma, know somebody that has asthma. In the wintertime when it's cold outside and you're dressed in layers, that is really hard. It seems to make things worse. So the inhaler is necessary. The firearm come back as not being reported lost or stolen, but there is no reports of an ownership trace being done on the firearm. Alex's mother believes his body looked like it had been posed. A police lieutenant also admitted he felt like the body had been posed until further details came to light. However, he never said to Alex's mother what those details are, and law enforcement also denied his mother access to the body cam footage. Alex had previously been suicidal. However, Alex had sought out a lot of professional help due to this. The family also checked their gun safe and determined all of their firearms were accounted for, meaning none of the firearms were missing. His mother believes that because Alex was suicidal in the past, that this was just written off as a suicide. It's cold, it's snowy. It took him a bit to get back to the area that he was in. Previous history of being suicidal, she believes it was written off as suicidal. According to an email to Alex's mother from law enforcement, the purple-handled firearm was located under the right elbow of Alex. The gun was frozen to the hip-stomach area along with the arm. Based on what they saw at the scene, law enforcement determined that Alex sat down with his legs crossed and shot himself in the right temple. Once the shot had occurred, the gun fell to the ground and against the body, with the arms fallen on top. The upper torso fell directly back, causing him to appear to have been laying on the ground. Timothy, law enforcement, said after talking to Detective Tislow, "We knew Alex was a missing person and was suicidal in possession of a gun." We do have copies of the officers' reports and coroner's reports that we will cover in the next episodes. So did law enforcement jump to conclusions due to Alex being suicidal in the past? Did they back off because he's transgender? Is there more to the story than what's being told? Or did Alex commit suicide? Follow along on our mini-series on this case as we uncover the details and explore the possibilities. And let us know what you think. This case, we are asking your help in helping us determine if this was suicide or not. The information we will be sharing with you, we ask you to look at. We ask you to dig into it a little bit on your own. And we will do a live feed, which will be episode 5. And we want you to share your thoughts with us on that episode. And we will try to put it all together and make the determination. And the reasoning I wanted to do this is this, as you know, is not a normal case for us. We look at missing persons cases. We use open source investigation to gather all the information to determine where we need to search. This one, when I seen the Facebook post, my heart went out to his mother. My heart went out to Alex. And we wanted to help. And once we got into the police reports, and more specifically the coroner's reports, there's things in this case that does not add up to me. So there is a reason we're doing this. And I don't want to jump in and tell you all the details that I'm seeing. I want you to be able to see those for yourself to make your own determination that overall will help us determine one way or the other. So with that, follow along the mini-series and let's see what we can do to help Alex's mom find the answers that she's looking for. Until next time, you guys stay safe.